I'm Sudha Jamthe. I'm the CEO of IoT Disruptions and I teach IoT, Artificial Intelligence and Autonomous Vehicle Business at Stanford Continuing Studies. I'm sorry I'm not able to be there in person, but you're going to have a very good time with this amazing set of speakers and have a great learning experience at this conference. Autonomous vehicles promise to make our roads safe. In reality, they bring connected and electric vehicles which changes urban mobility as we know it. As a technology futurist, I research Internet of Things, artificial intelligence, and autonomous vehicle space and enjoy mentoring business professionals build the driverless world. When you think of autonomous vehicle car cognition as a product, it is a artificial intelligence, machine learning based product. And the entire tech stack in our phone is going to switch to the car. What is needed to understand customer behavior and go translate this into customer experience so that you build the product. The autonomous vehicle is driven by artificial intelligence. Car cognition, how the car identifies objects in the road, car perception is all driven by deep learning, machine learning and computer vision. The connected car has so much data in it which powers a lot more, leading to artificial intelligence. That's what I'm going to focus on. There are 3 digital twins in the car: V2V, vehicle to vehicle, or V2I, vehicle to infrastructure communication with smart cities opens up so much potential. Federated AI, or the distributed machine learning possibilities with connected cars, has a huge impact on many industries. To understand autonomous vehicle business, you should think about CASE. CASE is a framework from Mercedes. So the car becomes connected, so the data in the car can become mobile, connect with the city infrastructure and other places, or there's B2B and it can talk to the cars. That's the C. It has to be shared mobility, which is the business model that is going to fund or help monetize autonomous vehicles. It has to be electric or sustainable in some form, because you're not going to take the self-driving car and go fill gas. And this leads to autonomous, connected, autonomous, shared, electric. That is how we are going to take the connected car and make it become an autonomous car. This picture is actually a Tesla factory picture. This is the Tesla car in the making. And yes, there are these robots that are making the Tesla car. Intel says there's going to be 4 terabytes of data coming from the car. If you go to GitHub and say City of LA, you will actually find their micro mobility specification. And cities are creating what they're calling as data OS. There are digital twins. So the basic thing is all the parts in the car, right? There are ECUs, there are about 80 ECUs, electronic control units, by which the car actually drives beyond being autonomous, just how the car drives. So here's an example of a Siemens Simrad vehicle. It is fully instrumented, and what it is doing is it is creating a data set of its performance attributes so that it can calibrate itself. And in fact, I have one student who works exactly in this space.
Entangles Lab is an automotive IoT digital twin company. We do predictive health monitoring, vehicle health monitoring, fuel monitoring, driving behavior. We are tracking all the sensors and replicating a physical asset into the virtual world and tracking every single sensor there is. In addition to that, we also use hybrid analytics to create virtual sensors and process it on the edge before transferring it to our cloud, where our algorithms process it to make meaningful prognostics as well as diagnostics. We bring great value to everybody from an OEM in the vehicle lifecycle management to R&D and everybody in the automotive space, from a dealer to an after-sales service shop, and also the fleet operator who owns these vehicles.
The second piece is the telematics. The telematics piece is basically with GPS, you look at a fleet and you know at any given time where it is. And so you can track that. This becomes a very important factor for shared mobility. So many car companies are building shared mobility in their existing cars. And it's a slow process because now we are
You're taking an existing car and you're adding a digital component to it. So this is the journey of the digitization of the car that's going on. I spoke to the connected car managers from Seat and Volkswagen and in Barcelona at the IoT Solution World Congress. And vehicle telematics can inform so much, because now if you know real time where the vehicle is, obviously you can do fleet management. And when I'm calling it vehicle because, as you can see, it's not just the car, I'm showing a truck. And you can do a lot more because now the vehicle is moving and you know exactly where it is and at any point in time. So the third digital twin is the passenger data. Where do they go? When do they go? Where do they stop? What do they want? What kind of entertainment are they using? Have haptic feedback inside the car and understand their emotions. And Amazon is announced that it is working on understanding the emotions of their user, but they're integrating Alexa in the car. And the claim is that they will understand the emotion from voice. So voice becomes a biometrics in that case. AR in the car, augmented reality. My favorite example is a case study I did for Mercedes about their Ask Mercedes app, which is a augmented reality app. And it does a very simple thing. It took the driver manual and just digitized it. Another interesting one that I came across recently is this is virtual reality in the car. So you're going in the car, it has all these sensors, internal sensors, so you get haptic feedback and you can create a virtual environment in the car. This is what Nissan came with, and they call this metaverse VR. They're calling it invisible to visible. So what that means is there's nothing, it's invisible. You're driving around or you're taking a ride and you're there. And then suddenly they would find, as your mobile, based on where you are, maybe you're near a mall and you have the map of the mall, or you have the internal map of a building or some information, and they would pop up and give that information to you where it is relevant. The important point is who the customer is, where it is relevant. The context part becomes very important, and whether the customer has given you permission to use this data to be integrated with any other data opens a whole holy grail of intentional commerce. So I would take this further and integrate with a whole bunch of inventory systems of other retailers. I briefly mentioned Federated AI, where you can create an AI model using machine learning, and then you can keep the privacy of the user, and then you can share that across multiple such groups. Porsche is one company who is actually looking at Federated AI and is figuring out what they can do with this. The platooning truck is 2 to 3 trucks will drive together and save on the drag of the vehicles, and that way they will make it fuel efficient. And this is being done in Europe every single year. Blockchain in the car is being practiced by many different automakers. Toyota, GM, Ford, and Renault made this group called Mobi, which is a blockchain consortium, sharing information inside the car and rideshare capability. Daimler AG has partnered with Hyperledger and Volkswagen and with IOTA. And there is a Porsche with Zane exercise that is happening, all trying to integrate blockchain in the car for various different use cases. It is in the supply chain of the car, the very first digital twin we spoke about. Can we actually manage the supply chain using blockchain? So all of this creates an ecosystem where data is being shared. So the business dimension of it is exciting for me, not just for the sake of blockchain technology, but what blockchain is doing is it is democratizing the data. And so the data movement is what is creating value. Now, is there a way you can democratize the data and everybody gets value in the entire ecosystem? Or is there going to be disintermediation where somebody creates extra value?
I hope to connect with you online and hear from you. Now I'll pass you on to the rest of the conference. I'm sure you'll have an amazing time.